And it was really like a culture there of like after you go for your hill walk, that's what they called it, hill walking, no hiking. You just kind of you go to a pub and you hang out and you kick your feet up and rest and just hang out with friends. So I feel like I really got into that idea of like a little treat after hiking.
Welcome. This is Lauren Stites, and you are listening to Her Side of the Trail. On this episode, we're speaking with Hannah Powell. Hannah talks about the researching and writing her new book, Beer Hiking Pennsylvania and New Jersey, which features 35 trails with breweries nearby. She gives us her favorite brewery hike combinations and also shares her go-to post-hike craft beer. So let's get into it. Hi, Hannah. Thanks for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk to you about your book and all your hiking that you've been doing. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. It's a Friday and I'm ready for the weekend.
All right, so I wanted to have you on here because I'm so excited about your book. Purchased it. I read it. I love it. The beer hiking in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But before we even get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about you and your background in hiking. When did you get interested in hiking?
So I definitely was an outdoorsy kid, but didn't really like do traditional hiking. It was kind of just like rambling in the woods with my neighbor friends and, getting into mischief. But I actually like really started hiking in grad school. So I was lucky enough to go abroad for grad school. I went to Scotland.
That's awesome.
And it's, yeah, like you can't not pick up hiking when you're there because it's you just hop on a train and you're in the Highlands. So I really picked it up there. It's really funny. I started out hiking in like rain boots because I didn't have boots. I just was like going out in my wellies and like hoping for the best.
Better
And
than
then when I
flip-flops.
yeah, yes, I will say I was not a flip-flop person. There's no need for flip-flops in Scotland. But yeah, I just like I really fell in love with it. Especially as a grad student, I didn't really have a lot of money, so it was nice to have this activity that like my friends and I could go out and do and just sort of enjoy nature and start bonding. And I kind of kept with it when I came back to the US. Pretty quickly after I came back, my partner and I moved to Washington, D.C. And that just became like an every weekend thing for us was going on hikes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good hikes within a few hours of DC. There's
Oh
tons.
my gosh,
Yeah.
so much, so much. I think we went to like every Maryland state park by the time that we were done with our stint in Maryland.
Maryland has some really pretty parks. We've done Rock State Park, Kilgore Falls and the
Yeah.
King and Queen Seat. So yeah, those are great parks. So you got back to the States and then so kind of not fast forward, but I mean eventually you're writing this book, right, about beer hiking. So were you always a beer enthusiast also? Were you always like craft beer or did you get into that later in life?
Yeah, it's really funny. I have always been a huge craft beer fan. Actually, like on my 21st birthday, my dad took me to it's a brewery here in Pittsburgh called the Hitchhiker, and
Okay.
that was like where I went for my first beer.
That's
Um,
fun.
Yeah, so it's really been my dad's influence. He's really into craft beer and he kind of cultivated that in me. And yeah, much to my wallet's chagrin, I haven't really been able to drink
Do you have
standard
a
beer.
Do you have a favorite style of beer? Like, what do you go to when you go to a new place?
I do really like the hazy IPAs. I know some people be like, "Oh, it's so
That's
basic,"
my
but
husband
like
loves those too.
they're so
That's his
good.
favorite. Yeah. I'm not a big IPA fan, but I do like a hard cider. So if a brewery has a cider, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
I'm also a fan of cider.
So because you are a big craft beer fan and you've started hiking, did you get beer when you were done in Scotland hiking? Was that always kind of like an end of the trek treat for you?
Yeah, it's funny. I was like thinking about like, yeah, how did I get started in that? And it was really like a culture there of like after you go for your hill walk, that's what they called it, hill walking, no hiking. You just kind of you go to a pub and you hang out and you kick your feet up and rest and just hang out with friends. So I feel like I really got into that idea of like a little treat after
No,
hiking.
you've earned it. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
I
So
love that.
kind of kept that up whenever I got into hiking back here, and especially since, I was already into the craft beer, it made sense to be like, oh, well, while we're out in this, new state park or new national park, let's see what breweries are
Yeah,
around.
check out a microbrew nearby. So did you find some good ones near the state parks of Maryland?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones in Maryland.
That'll be the next book, maybe.
Yeah, right? I know.
All right, so you have your website, the Hikes and Hops blog. When did you create that website to start sharing these hikes with the breweries nearby?
Yeah, so I started that about 4 years ago now. It was in 2021, and it really came out of a sort of like a pandemic project. So, especially when everything was shut down and all you could really do was go to your parks, my partner and I were really just like hiking all the time, driving probably too far for day hikes, but just, exploring. And then once the brewery started to open back up, we were hitting those up. And I kind of had this like encyclopedia knowledge in my head of like where all the breweries were and what parks I wanted to go to. And eventually my partner was like, you should like share this somehow. Like you've
Yeah.
done all this research. So yeah, that kind of made me be like, oh, maybe people would be interested in this. So I started my Instagram and my blog, and it stayed really pretty small for a long time, and I never really thought it would be of much interest. But eventually, yeah, people started to pick up on it and really like the concept of hikes and hops.
No, I think that is a great idea because, yeah, a lot of people, like you said, like in Scotland, a lot of people like to, at the end of their hill hike or their hill walk, have a brew, stop at the pub, and I think that's the same here in the States too. I've seen a lot of people. Sometimes people bring the beer on the trail with them, which I'm not sure is the best idea, but
To each their own. Wouldn't work for
but
me, but
I would not be safe going back down. But definitely afterwards, yeah, you want to relax, you want to enjoy something good too. And,
yeah.
and a lot of these breweries also, they have music and they have food and stuff like that. So it's just a
Hmm.
fun atmosphere. When did you decide then to write this book, Beer Hiking? I have it here, Beer Hiking in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. I love it. Hold on. Side note, I love the size of this book because it's like fits right in the backpack so perfectly.
Yes, it really does. No, I've had actually a lot of people tell me that like it's the perfect size. It's like big enough that you can get a lot of information in it, but not
Yes.
so much that you've got like a textbook in your
Yes,
backpack.
I love the size of this. It's just a perfect bag book pretty much. So, I will get into more of the details of the book too, but just real quick, yeah. So, when did you decide to write the book?
I actually was super lucky that the publisher reached out to me. They have been doing this series of beer hiking, started in Europe, and they've been breaking into the U.S. market. And they reached out to me. Funny enough, I thought it was a scam at first because I
Yes,
get a
okay.
lot of like weird emails to my blog that I was like, this isn't real. And but they were very persistent and kept reaching out. And eventually I was like, okay, maybe I'll hop on a call with these folks. And it was just really exciting to hear that this was a whole series and they were like very, very wanting to work with me. And yeah, it just like never thought that my blog would turn into a book. It wasn't even something I had considered. I think a lot of times when you're a blogger and especially when you're new, you don't really think of yourself as a writer. You're like,
Hmm.
oh no, I just have my little blog. It's fine. But like no, like we are writers. And so yeah, it was just like incredible that that opportunity was offered to me.
So, how long ago was that?
It was I think May 2023.
Okay, all right. So it
Yeah,
didn't take. I mean, I guess it was 2 years then
two
of research
years.
and yeah, and then getting it
Yeah.
published and everything. So you had a lot of these locations already on your website, or are these new locations in addition to the website?
It's kind of a combo, yeah. So I had I'm from Pittsburgh and I had moved back to Pittsburgh I think like earlier that year maybe. Time isn't real.
I know.
Um but I was pretty familiar with a lot of places in like central and western PA. I've done a lot of hikes and travels, lots of friends getting married, so like traveling across the state and incorporating some hikes. But I would say most of them were probably new to me, or I had known of the park and wanted to check it out. Especially everything in Jersey. I had really never been to Jersey before except to go to Cape May.
Hmm.
So that was really exciting to go somewhere new and have like all these incredible hikes that I had no idea existed in Jersey.
You did one of
Um,
my favorite places in New Jersey, Sourland. I love Sourland, right? You did Sourland.
yes.
Yes. My husband and I, we just went recently and we finally got to the point where you can see New York City, like the skyline. So we hadn't
Yes.
we hadn't done that with the kids yet because that was like a longer loop. So we always try to keep it short with the kids. But I love Sourland. That's like a little hidden gem in Jersey, I think.
It is. I love the rock where there's like a tree growing out of it.
Yes, it looks like
It's
it's
so
eating the
cool.
tree. I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. There's another rock formation too where it looks like a face, like profile from the side. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I
so
didn't.
many crazy boulders there. It's fun there. It is
Yeah, it's
really
so
fun there.
unexpected.
So you took the time, you're exploring the rest of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, putting everything all together. Um and then you had to find breweries nearby too then, right? So then you got to try
Yeah.
out all these good yummy beers.
Yeah, like for the most part, I would start with the hike, but there were definitely times too where I was like, okay, this is like a killer brewery. We gotta go here. Like we have to send people to that one. And then it was kind of like, okay, is there any good
There's something
parks
nearby.
nearby? Yeah. And like you would think that would be so easy to make these pairings, but there were just some places where, like in Philly or in Pittsburgh where there's so many breweries to choose from. And then like some of the parks there, like they're nice, but like are they, of the top 35 and
Yeah.
in the States, maybe not so much. And also like the opposite too, where there's like incredible hikes like in Allegheny National Forest and like some of those more remote areas that are just absolutely stunning. But then there's like
There's nothing nearby,
no, there's
right?
no breweries. Yeah.
Like the brewery's an hour away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so definitely tried to keep it as close as possible to the trailhead. I mean, I think most of them you do still have to do some driving,
Of course,
but
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
But it's not, yeah, it's maybe a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive,
yeah,
nothing too
exactly.
crazy. You've done all this research, and now I have to ask you, if you could share, I know it's probably difficult, but do you have like a favorite I can't say the word, a trail brewery combo, in like Western PA, Central PA, Eastern PA, and New Jersey? Can you name one for each of those
Oh
areas?
my gosh. Oh my
Is
gosh,
that too much?
it's like choosing a favorite child.
I know.
Um, I think in Western PA, probably the Forest Cathedral Loop in Cook Forest State Park. It's just stunning with those old growth trees. And then the brewery nearby is called Lost in the Wilds, and it's just like a really cool place with like big outdoor space, and the owners are awesome, and it's
Love
just
that.
like very yeah, and I love a brewery that's like outdoor themed. So
Yes.
I'm like, oh, it goes together so well.
Yes, it really does. And it's nice. It's just relaxing then too, It's just
Hmm.
you can just chill.
Yeah. And then in Central PA, I really loved this hike in Loyalsock State Forest. And it's called Smith Knob. And it was a really hard hike. It was really steep at the very end, but like the vista, stunning,
I have not done
stunning.
that, so I gotta check that one out for sure.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's like up in near Williamsport,
Okay.
PA, which is great because that's where New Trail Brewing is, which is like, one of those huge PA breweries that also is just like very involved with like the PA state parks. They do a lot of like giving back. So I just love to hear that.
Yeah,
Um,
we like when they are involved. Yes.
yes. And then in Eastern PA, I think the trail that kind of like blew me away the most was in Hawk Mountain
Yes, I love Hawk
Sanctuary.
Mountain.
I love it so much. Like I'll be honest, I kind of at first was like mm, putting a paywall on
I
like
know.
trails, but like
But
so worth it. And then
so
like
worth it.
realizing like what the admission goes to of like preserving and protecting. I was like I was all in at that point.
Also, I mean, their trail maintenance is top notch. Like the signage, the
Yeah.
maintenance on the trail. Like I don't mind. I we actually had a membership there for a year because we were going so
Nice.
frequently. It's so
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's just beautiful and like the trails are so fun. Like I
So
love a
fun.
good like challenging rock scramble.
Mm-hmm.
And that one really
We've
scratched that
we've
itch.
done that rock scramble up and down, both ways, and we're like,
Oh,
I think coming down is actually, is a little easier, even though they say it's a little bit more like sketchy, but I don't know. We've done it both ways, but it's fun.
I
It's
just
such a great
love
park.
it. My partner's like, oh, good, another rock scramble, and there I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I have to tell you, and you'd be impressed. My mother, she was 76 at the time. She did that rock scramble. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. We had to give
Okay.
her, she's like, give me a tush push. We were going up and we were
There's no
helping
shame
her.
in that. There's no
No,
shame
but
in
she
that.
did it. And we were all like, yeah, lady, you did this. You
That
did this.
is incredible.
Yeah, yeah. We were really proud of her for that.
Nice.
Hey guys, it's Lauren. I'm sorry to interrupt this lovely conversation that I'm having with Hannah, but I realized while editing this episode that I never allowed her to share the brewery that is near Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. In her book, she has it listed, but for you listeners, I'm happy to share it is the Referend Beer Blendery. It's in Kutztown, and that is not too far from Hawk Mountain Sanctuary, so definitely stop there when you're done your trail. All right, back to the episode. So we said that's Eastern PA, right? And
Yeah.
then New Jersey. What do we got for New Jersey?
New Jersey, there was a nature preserve kind of in like southern Jersey called Morris River Bluffs. Morris River
Morris.
Bluffs is actually how you pronounce that. And that was just like the coolest little preserve. It was so just unexpected to me. Just with like the landscape was so different to be on this riverside. Lots of really cool flowers that I had never seen before. And it was just like a really great nature preserve that we just really enjoyed going there.
I feel like New Jersey is just that hidden, like no one realizes how beautiful New Jersey actually
Right?
is and how
Right?
there's so many great hiking trails there, whether or not it's like wetlands or mountains or whatever, but they have so much.
Yeah, I think that's what like really blew me away about it was like all of these different ecosystems that I had never hiked in before. And you don't like really think of Jersey as being all that different
Yeah.
from Pennsylvania, but like
Well, yeah,
it
especially when you
really
get to the,
is.
the southern part of the state too. So,
Yeah.
and what was the brewery nearby? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, so that one was it's called Glasstown Brewing and it was one of the first breweries in New Jersey and they're still hanging out and they're just like really great. It's like a family run thing. The owner's brother does all the can art for their beer, which is really cool.
That is cool.
So
Family business, definitely.
love
Everyone's
it.
involved.
Love a family business.
I love that. All right, so did we kind of already talked about like your favorite craft beer was the hazy IPA. Is that also your go-to beer after a hike, or do you go for something a little lighter than that?
I think usually a hazy, if it's like, the dead of summer and it is so hot, I'm probably gonna get more of like a sour,
Okay.
something like light, but for the most part, it's those
Yep.
hazies.
So, I know, people who are listening won't be able to see it, but I do want to comment. I love how you organized the book. I don't know if this is, your choice to organize it this way or if the publisher was, but I love that you have like an actual like beer, like a beer recommendation as well as, from the brewery, as well as all the detail for the trail and everything like that. So, I just want to give you a shout out on that so people don't even have to second guess. They don't have to think about it. They're like, I'm going to get this beer that Hannah recommended from the trail.
Yay! Yeah,
So
I wish I could take more credit for it. I did pick the beers, but
there you
that
go.
was the publisher kind of has their format that they like to follow, and like there's a reason it works. Like it's really nice to see that like featured beer and know what you're getting into.
I think it's a great idea because again, then it just takes the decision making out. You're like, you know what? This is what I came for. This is what I'm going to try. Are you working with the publisher on like another book? Did they talk about that? Is there plans for that in the future?
There, as far as I know, no plans. I
Okay.
definitely would be open to it. I think I need a little bit of a break for a
Yeah.
while. It was
It's a
it was
lot
a lot
of
of
work.
work. It was a lot of work, and I worked full time, so I was like, getting to work at 6 a.m. trying to squeeze in writing time. But I definitely would I would consider it in the future. I was thinking to myself like, ooh, I feel like West Virginia is like ripe for one of these books.
Oh man, and I just love West Virginia so
Me
much. I
too.
was talking with Kim in an earlier episode just about how gorgeous the state is, and I don't think people understand just really how beautiful West Virginia
Right?
is, and it's
I
so fun to
know.
hike in. It really is.
And it's like so close to me and I don't go enough. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
you're
be in
lucky.
West Virginia in like an hour.
Yeah, you're close. You're close. It's 5 hours. Well, 3 hours for us, I think, to like Harper's Ferry, but 5 hours to like get really into the state. So, but
Hmm.
well, hopefully another, a sequel does happen for you. But yes, when you have time and you have the energy to work
Yeah.
on it. But you need all this time to research anyway. So, it's a good
Yeah, I could
opportunity. You can
just get started on it.
might as well. Might as well. All right. So I don't want to keep you for too much longer. I do appreciate your time, but I'm going to ask you what I consider a difficult question.
Okay.
It is, if you could only do one kind of hike for the rest of your life, would you only hike to views or would you hike to waterfalls?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna have to go views.
Okay.
I love a good view. I love that feeling of like working hard and having that like payoff.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. No, when you're climbing up that side of that mountain and then you get there and you're
Hmm.
like, oh, this is what I put all this work in. This is
Yep.
why I'm sweating.
Yeah. I do love a good waterfall, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go views.
Okay. All right. I like it. That works. That works. Where can everybody find you? I know you're on social media, you have your website.
Yeah, so my website is hikesandhops.org, and I'm on Instagram at Hikes and Hops blog. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's where people can find me and see what I'm up to.
Sounds great. Well, thank you again for your time, Hannah. Thanks for writing this book because we're very excited to check out all these, hikes in these breweries nearby. Life goals for 2025.
Yes. How many can you check off?
Yeah, right, right. But I do appreciate your time and thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to Her Side of the Trail. There are more hiker stories to hear, so please follow along to hear them as soon as they come out. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends or on social media. Her Side of the Trail is hosted and produced by me, Lauren Stites. I can't wait to share another hiker story with you next episode.